Fulton's the detail man. He's got all the details.
No, but I know the man who does.
Jensen's the eyeballs. He connects us with YouTube.
Yeah.
That's Sweet Baby J, man.
Sweet baby J.
So I'll send you the link to YouTube on this bad boy. Rick Roberts, he runs the...
Producer.
He's the producer.
You don't even know what Fulton is. He's like, he's
no, I already got Fulton. Fulton's the detail man. He's the scientist. And Wayne Lloyd's the guest. You're the guest.
Welcome, Wayne.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yes. And of course, we have Dr. Scott as the captain and quarterback of the team here.
Big D. Big D.
In the house.
Dr.
Happy
Scott.
Hey, it's my pleasure. My pleasure. I've been talking about Wayne. I've been asking Wayne to be a guest for what? About 2 months now.
Okay.
He's a patient at the office. I know we got a lot to talk about.
Yes.
All right. I know you want to talk about politics.
We're going to talk about everything.
That makes me and Wayne cringe.
Yes.
Rick Roberts loves it. But before we get to that, I got to tell everybody about Wayne because I know we're going to get off on a tangent. We just got started a minute ago, and I heard y'all.
Let's hear about Wayne. Wayne, we look forward
y'all
to
went way off on
hearing your story.
So, all right, so I met Wayne. Tell me if I miss any spots. I'm going to sum it up, and you give us some details, Mr. Wayne.
Okay.
Sound like a plan? Say hello to everybody.
Hello, everyone.
You're probably talking to about, 20, 30,000 people?
Really?
Who knows how many are on the internet? Jensen, you got us any YouTube views yet?
At least.
All right, good. So anyway, I see a gentleman walking across the parking lot. All right? He's got crutches. Walking on crutches across the parking lot to our office. I never met him before. I met him. It happens to be Wayne. All right? Wayne Lloyd comes in and says, hey, my back's hurt. It's the typical sciatic pain. Comes in and we work on him. We x-ray, right? Do an examination.
Yes, you did.
Worked on him a little bit and he got a little better right away. Right away. But it wasn't holding. He got a few other opinions, came back, we did a few things, and he's better than ever. You're a champion. I mean, it's unbelievable the results you've made. You've done stem cell regenerative medicine. You've done everything that we have at Advanced Medical.
That was stem cell that did all this.
So tell everybody.
Well, it first started off in the early part of June, and I woke up one morning. I had intense pain from the lower left back down the leg to my foot. And my daughter came over, and she was quite concerned with it. And she says she thinks that it's a sciatic nerve problem. She said, you need to find a facility that can give you some physical therapy that might solve the problem. And so that's how I found you and Advanced Medical Systems. And the first day in there, like you said, you took a x-ray, and you told me how bad it was. You told me that you really beat yourself up over the 80 years that you've been on this planet. And so I looked at it and I thought, well, I'm going to get some more opinions. And so I talked to people that would come in there with your shirt on, and I'd say, okay, what was your problem? And was that taken care of by stem cell? And in each case, I got a positive reaction. And in one case, it certainly verified the way I was going to go with this thing, because I talked to one man who had a knee problem. He said he went to an orthopedic, and the orthopedic gave him cortisone shots. Mm-hmm. And he said that lasted about 2 weeks. And he said then he came in to see you. He got the stem cell, and he said it's the best thing he'd ever done. So that's what awesome. I did is I went out and went to an orthopedic and talked to him, and he said, well, let me give you a MRI, and we'll see where we can go from there. And after I had the MRI, he called me back in and said, all right, he said, what we'll do is we'll give you cortisone. He said, it'll be about 3 weeks before we can give you a cortisone shot. And I said, well, I don't particularly want to wait 3 weeks on this. So I called my son-in-law. My son-in-law is a spine specialist with pain management, but down in Louisiana. He's got several clinics down there. So I called him, sent him the recording or whatever you call with the MRI, and he looked at it and he says, "Don't let anybody touch your back. You're in bad shape." And I said, "Well, what should I do?" He said, "Don't let anybody touch your back." So I went back after talking to him and having him look at my MRI and decided that, yeah, he's got my thinking, and that he wants me to be the best I can be under the conditions I have. But then I went back to Advanced Medical and said, let's do the stem cell. From there, I've got tremendous advancement with this stem cell. I got my second plasma shot today, and I understand that's what boosts the stem cell.
Yeah, you've gotten so much better. I mean, you were upright, strong, walking across the parking lot. I mean, this guy was. I mean, he's practically, compared to when I saw him the first time going across the parking lot, you're sprinting across the parking lot at 80 years old. You know what I'm saying, Wayne?
Yeah.
You're looking good.
Well, I appreciate that.
So, Wayne, you feel then that before you went to Advanced Medical, and now that you've been through the process, you've done your round of injections, you've done the stem cells and all the other, that goes into it, because there is a lot more. It's every day.
It's therapy.
It's doing the therapy,
twice a week.
all that.
Twice a week I go to therapy.
So now you're even further along than you were before then. So you're at more than 100%, is what you're saying.
Well,
correct?
I'm not quite there yet.
Okay.
I got the stem cell shot on July 15th.
Okay.
And as I understand it, it takes 3 to 6 months before it really fully kicks in.
Right.
So I'm at my fourth month.
Okay.
And each day is a little better.
So you're looking for more.
I'm looking for more.
And you know what? You'll get more.
Then you talked to your son-in-law, who's a specialist.
Yes.
So I completely forgot about that part of the story. And I was just saying that you did everything. The reason why I remember your case so much is I remember thinking, I'm like, you know what? Wayne did everything you're supposed to do. He had the pain, went in and got checked out, did a few things non-invasive, got another opinion, got an MRI, got every recommendation. And then that's when I remembered, the thing that set it off even more, you talked to you got a family member who's a specialist. I'm like, Wayne did every option, everything you're supposed to do. And he made a great decision, and you're reaping the rewards. You're looking good, strong,
Thank you.
fast.
I feel good.
Yeah, that's good.
Absolutely.
Have you gotten any, other than the obvious to me, let me just try to list off, because I can see it, and it's hard for me to talk in the pictures I see. You're standing up straighter, you're walking faster, you're minimal pain.
Minimal.
What are some of the results you're noticing?
Well, the back area, I've got little or no pain at all. It's starting to go down, and it's the pain level is somewhere in the area of the calf down to the foot.
Okay, did I tell you?
And you told me this is going to work its way out.
That's right.
Through the foot.
Yeah, it heals out. It starts healing and growing out.
Yes.
Like a fingernail grows out. That's how it heals. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing great. Have you noticed any other things? Like, what are some of the things that you have to do around the house, or some of those? What are some things that changed?
Well, I'm able to get out and do things in the yard. Okay. I'm able to help my wife in the house. Before, I couldn't help her at all, and the poor woman was, having to pick up everything I did.
How long were you on those crutches before I saw you?
About 2.5 weeks.
Okay.
And I had to have the crutches in order to get around.
Yeah.
So Wayne, are you sleeping better?
Yes.
Because of the activity. Yeah, the more activity you have, and those stem cells go to work in the body, the better rest you're going to get.
Yeah, because he got an intramuscular treatment, which also means it's working in his whole body.
Yes.
Have you noticed any other changes in any systems or anything? sleeping better? You feel more relaxed?
Well, I feel more relaxed, and certainly I've got a lot less pain. When I went to Dr. Scott, I was probably at the level of about a 6 or 7 in pain, and now the only thing I have is maybe a 1, and that's in the foot.
You know what? That's fantastic because, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but I just wanted to make a very important point of what you're saying right now is the mental clarity. So when you take that pain away, you start to clear the mind of all the traffic of pain, because that's what your body is saying to your brain. Help, help, help. This hurts. I'm in pain. So when you take that away, it gives you that mental clarity that you're talking about right there and reducing your pain level from, what did you say, a 9 to a 1?
Yeah, well, it was a 7 to a 1.
Okay, 7 to a 1.
Yes.
So you see where this goes for you. You see there's more to offer in the results that you're going to take, and even the exercise, even the activity as we go into these cold months. You know, you and I talked about this on a show a while back, that the fall, that we are in stroke season. So now is one of the toughest times on the geriatric population because of the change in weather and the less activity. So Wayne, you're in a position right now to really boost yourself, your immune system, your everything through this winter.
Oftentimes when you're in a lot of pain, it raises your blood pressure. Have you noticed any blood pressure? I'm not sure if you check it too often.
Occasionally. In fact, the last few weeks I went in and my blood pressure was a little high. And Chad had indicated that, you know, I should be going to see someone regarding my blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
I had my blood pressure checked this morning at Advanced Medical. And I was at 118 over something. I didn't get the other part of it, but 118.
Almost perfect.
I thought,
good.
At my age, you got 118?
No doubt.
Now, are you on any blood pressure medications at the time?
I am.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
So there is a little help there, but still, you got to keep it in line.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. You're doing great, my man. Speaking of blood pressure, you guys started raising my blood pressure when you were talking about this politics. And the last thing y'all said was something about, I mean, you had the same reaction I have, Wayne, is we start talking about this politics. These guys just talking about politics and all these players and puppets. These guys get into it, and I'm like, I really don't know what they're talking about, but here's what I do know what they're talking about. Like you said, we are talking some serious money. What you gonna do about it?
It's scary.
We're talking serious money, son. And so what do you do about it? I mean, I can sit here and argue with Fulton and Rick Roberts all day about it.
Well,
and then I start thinking about how much, I'm like,
here we go.
Here's my point. Let's say the other side gets in. How's that going to affect the FD?
Well, other side, hold on. Hey, don't categorize me, son.
Well,
who you talking?
We already know, Fulton knows I'm talking about Biden.
All right.
If the other side. Because we already got this side, which he's still the president until January.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, Americans. You're talking about Americans versus...
If Biden gets in, how do you think that's going to affect the FDA? Well, do you think it'll affect things that you're doing?
It's going to help us out. I mean,
it will
you can't mess up medicine. You can't mess up medicine.
Oh, yeah, I think you can.
We just got through talking about that.
Well, you know,
Medicare... I don't want to have to survive on Medicare, that's for sure.
I'll say this. I'm going to agree with Dr. Scott in the big picture, okay? But on the other hand, as you just opened this political conversation up with money and power, so the bureaucracy of the FDA, I think, will come back into play. I think it's as slim line as it can be right now. I feel like Trump has reduced a lot of the regulations, and I feel that if Biden gets into office, that he could start to layer that, you know, those regulations, the bureaucracy that they put in place.
That's one thing I like about Trump. I've said it a million times that he's against these pharmaceutical industries doing bad things. Now, I'm not against pharmaceutical industries, but they do bad things.
Didn't he do something where you can now get a certain medication for like cheap because he made the big pharma Stop charging so high prices?
Yeah, he took on the Medicare Part D, the prescription drug plan, and it was in a 10-year plan to reduce the cost to the beneficiary, who is the patient, and the insurance company would start to reduce that cost, and the government would start to put in subsidies to help prevent the patient from having so much out-of-pocket expense. I'm going to be honest, there's so many medications that doctors are now prescribing that don't fit the formulary for prescription drugs at your normal, corner shop pharmacy. Okay, so there's some real expensive drugs still out there. People are still having a lot of drug expense. So to answer your question, yes, but we need more.
Now, if you've noticed, and you've watched TV, it seems like every other commercial, they're pushing another drug.
Well, that's because same thing me and Wayne are talking about.
Money, power.
Money, son. And so speaking of money, and it blows my mind. I like your reaction, Wayne. It's money beyond sometimes even being able to think about. For me, I can't think about all that money. Talking about so much money. Here's my perspective before I ask Wayne, because I know once I ask you guys what your perspective is, you're going to steal the floor. But I'm going to ask Wayne because one thing I truly believe in, left, right, red, blue. Here's the thing. Everybody is so divided right now. It's more of an evil thing on another level than just what's happening right here. And we're all divided, and it's never going to change unless we individually change. And I think it goes deeper than just politics. And it's big money, unbelievable money. And you guys, that's why I want to know what you think, Wayne, because you guys started talking about, you said it dates back, Soros, like who were some big players? What do you think about the big game of what's going on? And what are the big players that I really don't know about, but I think exist? Well, being used for evil.
You've got the certain percentage of billionaires in this country that want to bring this government down. And one of them is Soros. But you also got other politicians that have these foundations, and I could name a few of them. They're also putting money in to take Trump down. They don't like the way the administration is going, so they want it their way. I mean, look how much money they pumped into South Carolina to try to get rid of Lindsey Graham. Broke records.
Oh, can't believe it.
Over $100 million to try to take Lindsey Graham down.
What you think, Mr. Wayne?
Well, my fear is that they're trying to turn this country into a socialist country. And when you hear talk about open borders, open Medicare, or open medical facilities to anyone that walks in, and you talk about free college and free this and free that, somebody's got to pay for it somewhere along the line. And why these multimillionaires and billionaires can't see that unless they're going to pay for it, and I don't think they are, because their money could be doing something that's a lot better than trying to turn this country to a socialist country.
It's who knows what to think. Who knows what's going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? Biden wins. What's Trump going to do? Fight it?
I don't think there's going to be a winner.
Yeah,
I think they're going to drag this out, and it comes down to the House of Representatives voting who's going to be the president.
Or, well, Trump's trying to push it to the Supreme Court. So, there's going to be a lot of legal jargon that has to go on.
My question is, how long is it going to drag out?
Oh, it'll never end.
Well, it can't. Oh, okay. No. If it goes past January 20th, it's over.
So, and at that time, the Speaker of the House takes over, which would be
the House of Representatives. They make the decision, and it'll be whoever the Speaker of the House is at that time.
At that time, and it's going to be Nancy Pelosi.
Yep.
So that's who would become president of the United States. But it wouldn't be an interim. I mean, it's not a permanent position.
It's a permanent position.
It's a permanent position.
The last time that's ever happened was John Quincy Adams.
Okay.
The House of Representatives picked John Quincy Adams, and he was the second president.
Until they go through and end up counting the votes and get it figured out like it happened in Florida? Or she just stays in?
She stays in until 4 years later.
Okay. Learn something new every day. Wow. What you think of that, Wayne?
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
Not at all.
How about that,
Nancy.
Dr. Scott? Put that in your smoking pipe.
Wait a minute. That didn't sound right.
What you been smoking?
That's what we need to ask, folks. Put that in your smoking.
Help me out.
Pipe it.
That's
Either way,
funny.
we're going to be fine. Hey, you know what? Either way, it's going to be fine. You know why? Because we're going to do what we got to do.
Yes,
We're going to trust in God.
absolutely.
We're going to do what we got to do.
And you know what, Dr.
And that's
Scott?
what we're going to do no matter what.
That you and I have had this conversation from the beginning. Since you and I started working together, we've already done what we need to do in this industry to work with patients and work around the stem cell industry and world to help provide it to these patients. We know what we're doing. We understand the FDA. We work with them every day within their regulations. We stay within their regulations. And you and I are going to be able to survive regardless of who the president is. Okay?
Well, we all going to survive.
We are.
We live in America, and we're Americans. It's going to be good. We might suffer a little bit. I think we already are suffering. Everybody's suffering to a certain degree. It's just what you're going to do about it.
That's right.
What are you going to do about it? You going to do what Wayne did about it?
Yes.
Wayne said, I'm going to do something about it.
Good job, Wayne.
And he seeked out the experts. That's what I like to do. That's
Yes.
why I like talking to you. You're an expert.
That's what we're going to do. Thank
a
you.
detail
I
man.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
That means a lot to
Look
me.
at Ray Roberts. He's an expert.
I don't know about that.
He might not act like it. Hey, he might not act like it, but he is.
You know, Rick, one time I heard it said, if your name's not Google, quit acting like you know everything. So if you ever reach that point, we'll be sure to
If somebody
remind you.
Googles my name, there's going to be a big old picture of, well, I'm not even going to say what that picture will look like.
I'm going to leave that one alone.
There you go.
Anyway, let's talk
Back
about
at
Wayne
it.
again.
Yes.
Wayne
back
in
at it.
politics.
But you know what, Dr. Scott, like you're saying right there, we're going to continue to be able to provide the services and the stem cell products that we've been working with the whole time to these patients, regardless of who becomes president. And that's a reassuring feeling for me. I know it is for you. We get to continue to help people like Wayne, and we get look at the smile. You know, you can look in his eyes. Those people out there in radio land can't see what we see in here. They can't see the smile. They can't see the happiness, the change in life.
Nah, you should see him move.
See him? Is he fast?
He's fast.
Is he fast?
He can move.
Uh-oh.
Am I lying? Am I lying?
I probably lost a few steps over the years.
He's moving. He's moving
Hey,
across.
Rick,
He's moving.
He's too
son.
old a cat to get skinned by a kitten.
Listen,
Okay?
there you go. Hey, listen, I brought him back from the lobby, and he'd about beat me down here.
Hey, did he? Oh, that's good. That's good. So, yes.
Yeah, that's good. I hadn't seen your wife in a while. Maybe she'll come in and say, hey.
Yes, she's planning on going to the dinner.
I met her in the beginning, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
Yes, she was in on when you were talking to me about stem cell.
Okay,
And
good.
so she has got some back problems. And soon as I'm through this process, then she's going to be coming to you and talking to you about getting on the program.
Wayne was her guinea pig.
Yep.
She wanted to make sure he didn't. That was benevolent of you.
There's not a lot of communication out there as far as I can see on stem cell, because I had talked to my cardiologist before I got a stem cell shot. He did not know anything about stem cell. I talked to my rheumatologist about stem cell, nor did he know anything about it. So there's a lot of people out there are either they don't know or they won't say. But there's got to be some
That's a good
communication out there to tell people how real this is.
I agree.
Well, you know, Dr. Scott, he's talking about the box. We talk about the physicians working within the box
That's right.
every day, all the time on this show. And Wayne, what we're saying here is that a physician, a medical doctor, when you go to his office or even when you go to the hospital, to the emergency room, once you hit a certain level of criteria, he loses the option of what your treatment is. Insurance dictates it.
He's talking about in most of these doctors operate under corporate companies run by businesses and not really private owners. Our office, there's some private doctor offices where you can choose how to treat your patient based on what the patient has and what they want.
Mm.
Most of these doctors, a lot of physicians and doctors are now owned by corporate entities, and they can only practice in a certain box, and so it limits what they can practice. Therefore, many of them, if not all of them, it limits what they can even talk about to a patient, whether they know about it or not. And then some doctors, because they can't practice it, they're not interested in even learning about it. But you're exactly right. It needs to be communicated out there. There are also some FDA regulations about what we can communicate. Matter of fact, as many times as we've said the word stem cells, just right here on the radio, that's a red flag. They don't like us even saying stem cells. Yeah, there's certain regulations there, but we call it stem cell regenerative medicine. We partner up with them. We're moving forward with the FDA. That's what Fulton helped us do. So we have a partnership with them in moving forward. But we do have to be careful of the things that we say, and they have certain things, and we abide by their regulations. But sometimes it's hard to communicate this when there's certain things that you can and can't do, and when your biggest competition is this pharmaceutical industry with billions of dollars. Like Rick Roberts said, they own the airwaves. Every commercial there. I mean, that's what we're up against. That's why it's awesome. That's why I appreciate you coming and sharing with me, Fulton, Rick Roberts, everybody, thousands, tens of thousands of people, how beneficial it's been for you. If you had one last thing to share with everybody, what would you say? Because we're about to wrap it up. Rick Roberts has given us the cue. Let's wrap it up, fellas.
I'd say if you've got a problem with pain, go to Advanced Medical Solutions. They'll solve your problem.
Thank you. I appreciate you trusting us. Fulton.
Dr. Scott.
I know you want to leave one last political comment.
You know what? You don't know what you don't know.
That's
And the sad thing is I don't think we're going to find out for a while.
I don't think we are either. It is what it is. It always will be. We're going to make the best out of it. You know, this country needs to heal. This country needs to come together. You know, there's a lot of different opinions out there. I just want everybody out there to take an opportunity to, pay it forward one time. Just be nice to somebody out there, regardless of who it is. Just be nice to one person today.
I like that. Pay it forward. That's a great way to look at it. In fact, if we could just get our government to be nice to each other, that's a big step.
He won't let it go.
No, I will not.
He will not let it go. Hey, guys. Hey, we got to go. I'll see you next week.
Thank you,
Wayne, for being here.
Thank you, Wayne.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you for being awesome. You're very smart. You're inspiring. And we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you, Dr. Scott. Thank you, Fulton. Thank you.